Anambra State Assembly commends Governor Soludo on infrastructural development. Supreme Court to deliver judgment on appeals by Atiku Obi tomorrow. From the foreign scenes, the Israeli army carries out more raids in occupied West Bank. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total around maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values that's giving maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the evening news. My name is Uchechukwu Ebanam. Mrs. Beverly Bazunkem DJ has been sworn in as the State Commissioner for Special Duties. Governor Chukwuma Soludo performed the swearing-in ceremony and officially inducted her as member of the State Executive Council at the Government House. Okay. Government House correspondent Ejike Abana has details.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the federal.
The governor, who reminded her that as a public office holder she holds public trust, pointed out that her new office demands exceptional leadership and innovative solutions. While congratulating her, the governor stressed that the position demands rendering service to the people who have high expectations from the solution team, as well as leaving a positive legacy behind.
Congratulate you. Why are we here? It's nothing but public purpose. It's to contribute part of a team, part of a bigger team, to be able to achieve those things that you couldn't do as individual. And that is public purpose, to serve the public. In the end, if the society moves from point A to point B, because you are part of this team.
Speaking to the ABS, Mrs. Nkem Diche pledged to leverage her wealth of experience in the legislative arm of government to give quality service to the Anambra.
I feel wonderful. I'm excited and I'm ready to jump into work, actually. It's a good thing and I'm going to work in that capacity. Bringing a wealth of experience. I was a legislator for 12 years. So I know the system, I know Anambra, I know all aspects of the government because of oversighting the different ministries. So having said that, I'll take that experience from the legislative aspect of it and incorporate it to the executive aspect of the state.
Recall that the House on Wednesday, October 4, received a letter from Governor Soludo seeking the screening and confirmation of Mrs. Nkem Diche by the lawmakers, which they did. By her swearing-in ceremony, she has replaced Barrister Sly Ezokenwa as the Commissioner of the Ministry. From the Government House, Oka, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
Wife of Anambra State Governor Mrs. Nonya Soludo says actions should be accelerated to completely eradicate poliomyelitis in Nigeria. Mrs. Soludo, who said this in Oka in a statement to commemorate the 2023 World Polio Day, said that renewed awareness on the existence and threats of polio should be increased, as many households are still not fully aware of the persistent threat of the disease. Dan Ezigwe filed the report taken from here.
Discussing the importance of the global date, Mrs. Soludo said that despite concerted efforts that has been made over the years to eradicate the deadly disease, there is the need to adopt a more comprehensive approach to completely get rid of the virus in Nigeria. One of the approaches, she pointed out, is to increase the tempo and coverage in awareness creation and education of parents, especially those in rural communities, on how dangerous poliomyelitis is, the symptoms and vaccination importance. The Anambra State Governor's wife, who is a Rotary International Polio Ambassador, noted that mothers should also be made to understand the importance of polio vaccine when their babies need them and what to do when they observe related symptoms. She praised the efforts of critical stakeholders, including Rotary International, who have been in the forefront of decades-long war against the dangerous sickness. Mrs. Soludo also pledged her commitment to lead the line for the total safety of all Anambra children from the virus, stressing that part of the investment in the state health sector, as is being championed by the present administration, is not just to checkmate existing problems, but to prevent further cases. Polio or poliomyelitis is a disabling and life-threatening disease caused by the polio virus, which can spread from person to person and can infect a person's spinal cord, causing paralysis. According to a 2023 report by the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, there was a decline from 1,028 cases of the virus as at 31st December 2021 to 168 cases as on the 31st December 2022. The report says that the virus is currently confined primarily to 2 states in the northwest zone of the country, namely Sokoto and Zamfara. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), World Polio Day, marked on October 24th of every year, provides an opportunity to highlight global effort towards a polio-free world and honor the tireless contributions of those on the front lines in the fight to eradicate polio from every corner of the globe.
Moving on, Anambra State House of Assembly has passed a resolution commending Governor Chukwuma Soludo on the massive infrastructural development that are simultaneously going on in Fege, Onitsha South 1 constituency. The resolution was so-called a motion of urgent public importance sponsored to that effect by the member representing Onitsha South 1 constituency, Honorable Fred Ezenwa, during plenary. House of Assembly correspondent Chukwemeka Modelim report is taken from here.
Sponsoring the motion, Honorable Ezenwa noted that the ongoing massive road construction in Fege by Governor Soludo on completion will give the area a facelift and boost socio-economic activities of Onitsha. The legislator informed the House that the establishment of a model general hospital and maternity project is also about to commence at the designated location in the heart of Fege, Onitsha.
It is quite understandable, Mr. Speaker, that Onitsha South 1 constituency, Fege precisely, is the revenue base of Anambra State, being a gateway to major markets in Onitsha. So, my honorable members, I'm happy. I would like you people to join me to give the kudos to the governor of Anambra State. What he's doing there, I'm quite sure that is bound to replicate that in all other communities of the state.
On his part, the chairman of Anambra State House of Assembly Committee on Works and member representing Orumba South constituency, Honorable Iman Wafo, observed that many dilapidated roads in Onitsha and other parts of the state abandoned by the past administrations are now being reconstructed by the Soludo administration, and commended the governor for recording a great success in the road construction, especially in Onitsha, which he said will restore the lost glory of Onitsha as the center of commerce in West Africa.
Mr. Governor have done so well. So for him doing it, I think he's doing it for the entire Anambra State, because Mr. Governor is doing very well, more especially on road infrastructures.
In their separate speeches, the member representing Nnewi North constituency, Honorable Augustine Ike, his Onitsha South 2 constituency counterpart, Honorable Jude Umennajiego, and the member representing Anambra West constituency, Honorable Patrick Udoba, described Governor Soludo as a gift to humanity and commended the massive infrastructural development he is carrying out in every part of Anambra State. The Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Somto Udeze, observed that Governor Soludo is meeting the yearnings and aspirations of Ndi Anambra through massive road construction across the state, and urged the people to join hands with the governor in the development of the state.
With this, be therefore resolved by this honorable house that Anambra State House of Assembly commends the government of Anambra State, Professor John Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, on the massive infrastructural development that is simultaneously ongoing in Fege, Onitsha South 1 constituency. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Following the inauguration of Anambra State Anti-Thousand Squad, SASA, at Onitsha by Governor Chukwuma Soludo, 64 suspected touts and 1 trans operators have been arrested by the squad in various parts of the commercial city. We have details.
Parading the suspects, SASA Director of Operations, Mr. Solomon Onwuneme, said that the SWAT commenced operations immediately after their inauguration by the governor. He told ABS that the suspects were arrested at Upper Iweka, Bridgehead and Chisco Motor Park respectively. Mr. Onwuneme made it clear that the SWAT will make Onitsha and other cities in the state uncomfortable for touts and those who engage in criminal activities. According to the SASA Director of Operations, the SWAT is determined to rid the state of all forms of social vices and advise those who derive pleasure in touting to make themselves productive by keying into Governor Soludo's youth empowerment policies and programs. Mr. Onwuneme revealed that all those arrested will be tried according to the law to serve as deterrents to others.
Orca for Christ initiative has called for stronger collaboration with Anambra Broadcasting Service. The group made the call when it paid a courtesy visit to the Managing Director of Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, Sachido Bidego, ahead of the upcoming 2023 crusade set to take place in Orca. Blessing Dennis has details.
The visit, according to the organization, aims to strengthen ties with the organization and ensure a smooth collaboration as they prepare to host the religious gathering. The crusade, which will be hosted by AFSI in partnership with all the churches in Awka, is scheduled to hold from Sunday to Monday 25th to 26th November 2023. It will draw Christians from far and wide, including Reverend Dr. Omar Okpai, who will be ministering at the crusade. The delegation was led to the visit by the Awka Zonal Chairman of the initiative, Reverend Anthony Onuko. In his speech, Reverend Onyeka Bosa expressed appreciation to ABS in helping them to reach a wider audience and contributing to the spiritual growth of the state. Reverend Bosa decried the high rate of bloodshed in the state, materialism, intra- and intercommunal land disputes, among others, emphasizing that Orca for Christ initiative is committed to spreading the message of hope, faith, and unity among the people of Orca and beyond.
Even maybe not buying Orca. No, there's a people on a Nagaraziazo, Ijebela Alosi, and I will menana. When I go jogging, Monagamala no menana, I will eat Belalosi. If it were menana, but the core values of people, the language of people, every people on our Badama, Eje to Chineke. These are the core values. Respect for the elders. Decency in dressing.
Also speaking, Evangelist Jeff Nwabweze said that the 2023 crusade will provide a platform for spiritual restoration and community bonding, focusing on the themes of peace, love, unity, while stating that prayers is needed in a time like this. In response, Sachido expressed the readiness of ABS to support the spiritual and community building activities of the AFSI and commended the organization for its commitment towards fostering unity, faith, and positive change in the lives of the people of Awka. The ABS boss made it clear that prayer is the key to all challenges, assuring that he will continue to champion the good work of God at all times, while charging on the Anambra to join hands with Orca for Christ initiative to create an atmosphere of faith, hope, and unity in the state.
You see,
the Supreme Court has fixed tomorrow for the judgment on the appeals by the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, and the Labour Party, Peter Obi, respectively. The door is praying the Apex Court to set aside a judgment by the Presidential Election Tribunal, which affirmed the election of President Bola Tinubu. The Supreme Court's Director of Information, Dr. Festus Akonde, in a telephone call told newsmen that the judgment on the appeals had been scheduled for tomorrow. Moving on to the foreign scenes, at least 5 people have been killed by Israeli fire as the Israeli army carried out a number of overnight raids in the occupied West Bank, according to Palestinian officials. The Palestinian Health Ministry said 3 people were killed in an Israeli air attack at the Jenin refugee camp. 2 more young people were killed during raids in Kwakilia and Kwalandia, respectively, he added. The Israeli military said that a group of Palestinians at the camp fired and hurled explosive devices at its forces when they were carrying out the counter-terrorism activities. The army hit them with a drone, it said, without mentioning casualties. The West Bank has emerged as another front in Israel's war in Gaza. From the world of sports, the official dates for the Super Eagles 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Zimbabwe have been revealed. The dates were revealed on the Super Eagles X handle. Osipesiero's men will entertain the Crocodiles of Lesotho in a match day 1 encounter at the Godswill Babio International Stadium, Oyo, on Friday, November 17th. The West Africans will face the Warriors of Zimbabwe 3 days later at the Amahoro Stadium, Kigali. Benin Republic, South Africa, and Rwanda are the other teams in the group. The top team in the group will automatically qualify for the 2026 World Cup to be hosted by USA, Mexico, and Canada. The Super Eagles failed to qualify for the last edition of the Global Soccer Fiesta hosted by Qatar. The 3-time African champions lost to perennial rivals Ghana in the playoff round. The remains of the late Chief Simeon Akachukwu Arazo has been laid to rest at his country home, Umudike Village, Ukpo, in the Nnewi South local government area. Aged 93, the late Pa Arazo was a stakeholder who contributed meaningfully to the upliftment of his community. Esther Asanya has details.
Was taken to Holy Trinity Catholic Church Ukpo for a Requiem Mass. In a homily, the parish priest of Holy Trinity Catholic Church Ukpo, Reverend Father Humphrey Odoko, whose homily centered on heaven is real, hellfire is real, regretted that most people live life as if everything ends on earth, noting that all mortal will one day die and return to the Mecca. He reminded Christians of the need to amend their ways and repent of their sins in preparation for eternity.
Mana one day they got the struggle to the this man over. I need about the struggle over. That day we
Speaking after the Holy Mass, the first daughter of the deceased, Mrs. Ijoma Aneche, who described her father as a great man who impacted on the life of so many people around Ukpo and beyond, thanked the congregation for joining them to bid final farewell to their late father. On his part, one of the sons of the deceased, Chief Menax Arazu, and Chief Mrs. Nkoli Imo, while thanking God for the exemplary life of their father while on earth, described him as an industrious man who contributed a lot to the progress of Ukpo town. In his condolence message, Governor Chukwuma Soludo, represented by the Commissioner for Environment, Dr. Felix Odimegu, while consoling the family of the deceased, said that their father lived a good life, having lived up to 93 years with great and wonderful children, including Chief Mrs. Nkoli Imo, and commended the children for giving their father a befitting burial.
Oya Anambra, a person of influence, a model for women entrepreneurship, a philanthropist of repute, someone the state will easily identify with. That is why the governor sent me to represent him today in this celebration of life.
Others who spoke at the event include the Emir of Akko in Gombe State, Alhaji Mohammed Umaru Atiku, Anambra State Chairman of All Progressive Congress, APC, Sir Basil Ejdike, the former member representing Anambra East and West at the Federal House of Representatives, Chief Chinedu Obidiwe, while condoling with the family, thank God for the good life led by late Pa Arazu. The burial reception, which took place at Basilica Field, Onitsha, attracted people from different parts of the country. The burial featured condolence visits from in-laws, friends and well-wishers and sympathizers. Esther Asanya, ABS News.
Before we go, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS TV from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABS Television Oka. On X, we are ABS Radio TV, and on Instagram, we are ABS Radio TV. You can log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Now the main points that made the news again tonight. Governor Soludo has sworn in Mrs. Nkem Diche as Commissioner for Special Duties. Anambra State Assembly has commended Governor Soludo on infrastructural development. From the federal scenes, the Supreme Court is to deliver judgment on appeals by Atiku Obi tomorrow. From the foreign scenes, we told you the Israeli army has carried out more raids in occupied West Bank. To end the news, here is a special message. Governor Chuma Soludo has come for a total around maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values that's giving maximum support for the task ahead. That's all on the news tonight. My name is Uche Chukwu Eponam. Good night.